All right, guys, so today, since it was Tuesday, as we all know, Aaron Rodgers typically goes on the Pat McAfee Show on Tuesdays. He did so today and gave a little bit of insight about his potential future in the NFL and primarily on the Green Bay Packers. So in today's video, I wanted to go over the main takeaways from his interview today on the Pat McAfee Show and give my reactions. Of course, if you want to watch the whole show, I'll link that down in the description below. First, we have a quote from Aaron Rodgers on his exit meetings with the Packers after last week. "We had all the conversations we wanted to have about football for now. They're not pressing for any type of specific answer, and I'm not mentally or emotionally at that point." Rodgers said he would never say never about playing somewhere else, but he clearly thinks he can still play at a high level. Quote, "I think I can win MVP again in the right situation." Right situation, is that in Green Bay or somewhere else? I'm not sure. Rodgers said it has to be both sides working together, and there are more conversations to be had. Quote, "If there's a rebuild going on, I'm not going to be part of it." So there's definitely a lot to go over with all of that. A lot of things definitely were said that gives us a little bit more of insight. Obviously, there's no official answer today, and I don't believe we'll get one anytime soon, and that's kind of the problem. I think the Packers need to kind of get an answer. They need to see, okay, Aaron Rodgers, are you coming back? Are you going to be our quarterback for 2023? We'd love to have you as our quarterback, which it seems Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur both think that way. We kind of need to know. I understand you want to go through your thoughts. You're turning 40 years old. You don't know if you want to play in the NFL anymore. You've made a ton of money. You can make even more. You're still deciding. I get that. But at some point, you kind of have to lay down the hammer if you're the Packers and go, okay, are you coming back or are you not? Because we have someone named Jordan Love in the building. We drafted in the first round a few years back, and we like what we see. So if you're not going to return, tell us that. We'll move on. We'll start Jordan Love, and we'll start that quote-unquote rebuild process that Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be a part of, which I understand. If the Packers bring back Aaron Rodgers and still do a rebuild, which I don't think they coincide. Obviously, if they're bringing back Aaron Rodgers, they're going to be in a cap situation where they can't really rebuild. They kind of have to push contracts out and go quote-unquote all in again. So I get it. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to come back for a team that's rebuilding. He's about to be 40 years old. Like I said, he wants to go back and take another shot at a championship, another shot at an MVP season. And then interestingly, in that second tweet there, basically saying he will never say never about playing for another team. So it seems at this point, I think Aaron Rodgers does want to come back. He said he can still play at a high level. He thinks he can be an MVP again. He's not saying, well, I don't know if I want to play or not. He's pretty much saying, I still think I can play. So I do think Aaron Rodgers wants to come back. Now it just comes down to the mutuality of the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers wanting to do it again for 2023, which I do believe will be the case. I've said this time and time again. I think Aaron Rodgers comes back for one more year, but I can't lie and sit here and say I wouldn't be excited about the thought of Jordan Love, getting the reins in 2023, seeing what they have with him before potentially re-signing him to a longer term contract extension. Obviously, I don't see them accepting his fifth-year option in 2024 at $19 million cap hit when you haven't seen a full season of him. So I don't see that happening. And Jordan Love is under contract for 2023, but what kind of situation will that create if they do bring back Aaron Rodgers? Will Jordan Love, ask for a trade or pretty much say F you to the Packers and go on to somewhere else in 2024? It's just becoming a reoccurring theme every offseason for the past 3 now. Will Aaron Rodgers return to the Green Bay Packers? Whether or not he's under contract or not. It's the same thing every single offseason. It's kind of getting exhausting. It's very similar to the whole Favre watch back in the day. And I understand it. Like I said, he's turning 40 years old. He has the potential to retire, but I think it shouldn't be this big as a spotlight. As much as Aaron Rodgers says he hates the media, he sure is in it a lot when it comes to the offseason. And that's not all his fault. But if he were to come out and say, hey, look, I'm not retiring. I want to be with the Green Bay Packers. If they want to have me back, I'm in. That would make a little bit more sense than kind of beating around the bush. And like I said, yeah, I get it. It's going to take him a while to ultimately decide, but at some point, you got to give an answer. Do I think Aaron Rodgers can come back and play at a high level like he says he can? Yes, I do. I do believe this was a down year, just like we saw in 2019, and then he went on to win back-to-back MVPs. Do I think he'll go and do that again at 40 years old? Probably not, but could he play at a high enough level to make a playoff run, potentially a championship run with the right Green Bay Packers football team? Yes, I definitely think he can. This year was riddled with a lot of issues on offense, issues on defense, injuries for Aaron Rodgers. We saw the thumb injury, the knee injury, and also the rib injury. So I don't think Aaron Rodgers was 100%. A lot of players on the offense weren't 100% like Aaron Jones. The defense did not play up to expectations. Overall, it was just a rough year for the Packers. It wasn't primarily because of Aaron Rodgers. They lost Devontae Adams, and they didn't really have a true number one wide receiver all year. There was a lot of issues, and it wasn't all on Aaron Rodgers, but he sure as hell didn't play a great season. At the end of the show, we also said he'll be on next week, but don't expect some big reveal or answer on whether or not he'll be returning to the Packers in 2023. So like I said earlier, I think it's going to be a little bit more back and forth, interview here, interview there, of Aaron Rodgers saying, oh, well, I don't know, and the Packers saying, well, we want him back in the building, but who knows what they're saying behind closed doors. We really don't know. Again, it's been like this for the last few years, and it's kind of is exhausting, and I do want Aaron Rodgers back, but at the end of the day, like I said, sometimes you just gotta drop the hammer and just say, you know, give us your decision. But we'll see what happens. Whether it's Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love, I'm very interested in this offseason and what the future will bring as a Packers fan. And a quick reminder, guys, still giving away this signed Aaron Jones White Eclipse Packers helmet with the green signature there by Aaron Jones. Thank you to Pristine Auction. This giveaway goes through the end of January. To get in on this giveaway, simply go to pristineauction.com, register on their website using my code BASS, B-A-S, at pristineauction.com. That'll enter you in this giveaway, which ends on the 31st, and enter you in all future giveaways, as well as give you a free $10 site credit on Pristine Auction. But that about does it for this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.